obtained through advanced techniques to be introduced into a Long Island murder trial. CBS's Jennifer McLogan.
The judge is allowing hair DNA to be used as evidence in this Gilgo Beach serial killer case. If it ever goes to trial, this will be precedent-setting in New York State courts.
Rex Uerman, a 61-year-old architect, is charged in the deaths of 7 women in a series of killings that prosecutors say spanned decades. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are mixed. The Nasdaq is higher by 136. The Dow is lower. This is CBS.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
This is Mike Evans with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. I'm broadcasting live from the Cool Breeze AC Pinellas location. Leslie Lacey is in Lakeland with Sheriff Grady. And McClellan, that would be Matt McClellan, is coming to you from Wesley Chapel and the John Robinson studio. So what's up, guys?
I love how each break we're in a completely new county or city.
Well, that's the beauty of StreamYard, that we're able to do that. I'm working on a couple really cool broadcasts, but before we get ahead of that, we're going to have Ryan Wessner on here after the next segment to talk about collectibles and MMA and UFC and cards and all that stuff. Either one of you collect, trade, have trading cards?
I don't. I have, this is embarrassing, but I have like the cards that came in the bubblegum packets in the 70s from Grease. Like I have those from Olivia John, like the whole movie Grease. That's it. I don't have any sports cards, but I do have some paraphernalia. Like when the Rays went to the, when they went to the World Series for the first time, they lost against the Phillies. Little Nico.
That's the problem, Leslie. You are the problem. You are part of the problem. In fact, you could be the leader of the problem.
What do you mean?
But the Rays fans, they frame things of souvenir value for a team that appeared in the World Series. Not won. They won nothing. That's a participation trophy you have framed in your house.
All right, you're getting DJ Kitty's freaking out.
Stop playing with your doll.
DJ Kitty has rabies. Listen. You got to put that cat down, okay? Take it outside and shoot that thing. Look, you guys are like, oh, we made it. That's good enough. Like you're like, oh, if we get in the playoffs, it's a successful season. Like real sports fans,
first time you get into the World Series is always successful, no matter what. You were there. That's
no,
like
you
not
lost.
Marino.
You were a loser. You're the first loser. That's all it means.
You were second this season.
Says. If you celebrate appearing, you lost. You're a loser.
I don't believe that that silver medalists should be shamed. Okay, I believe that you go for the gold, but if you get silver, you're still up on the platform, man. You're still up there, and that's why from Nico Sports with the certificate of authenticity, the very first World Series here, got this going on.
Hold on, Leslie. Let me ask you this: what was authenticated?
I'm not
that
sure.
Baseball?
Hold on.
You're not sure. What was
that? That it was framed by the shop.
Right, by the company. The company.
We framed
How about you, Matthew? What kind of card? Do you have any cards? Is there UFC, MMA, MLB, NFL?
So I don't collect, but my parents did save all my cards from when I was a kid. I actually gave you a couple binders of cards to take to Ryan to see if there's any value in those. I haven't heard back yet. Hopefully he'll have an answer today.
No, I gave you the answer the day I took him to him.
Well, then I need to get my cards back.
Yeah, the answer was no. There's nothing there.
Well, I want my cards back, but no, I have a collection. I have cards. I have like wrestling cards, and it was a hodgepodge of sports. Baseball mostly, some NFL, but
what do you both think is the holy grail? And hopefully we can find out from Ryan. After a quarter past, the UFC holy grail. The UFC has had cards out, forever, going back with Topps. Then they went to Panini. Now they're back with Topps. Ryan gave me a box to open up. I forgot to bring it. I was going to open it live. I'll do it next week. What do you think is the Holy Grail? Do you think it's a Connor? Do you think it's a John Jones or Dana? Dead air's not good.
What
I
about
would say,
like
I would say the Matt Hamill, because he beat the GOAT, the only loss John Jones has in his career. So I would say a Matt Hamill card.
You're an idiot.
What?
You're
And
just
what?
a moron.
What?
To think
And
that Matt Hamill card's the most valuable card.
And if they put it in Braille, so you could read it with just move your thumb across.
No,
you could
wouldn't be able to read it. Just Jay and Matt would be able to read it.
Well, I'm just saying, because putting a speaker on it, like a voice box, would be silly. So just do it like
he can hear now. Matt can hear.
Oh, can he?
Yes.
Oh, so you can hear this conversation?
He could, yes.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right. No, but a Matt Hamill, the Hammer.
I need to get with SoundCloud. I need to get with them and I guess I can mute you. Okay, that's what I can do in the future. When you continue to talk stupidity, I just hit mute. Leslie, your thoughts before I mute you?
I really don't know. I'm sitting here just for fun and looking at Reddit because I want to see what the public is thinking about this. And boy, you get some funny responses. There's a guy that's like, I'm just getting into it, and people are like, well, anything with a number is something to keep. The smaller the card lot, the better. 1 to 7 is obviously better. Don't buy box. Get particular, single cards. But no one's actually putting out a person's name. It's very interesting too that, so, I don't know. I just don't know. When I think of UFC, I think of Connor, right? I also think of Tito Ortiz. He's a household name. Okay. And he snagged Jameson, that's pretty impressive. Okay. And so
not touching that.
I'm just saying. So for me, it's not necessarily just what they accomplished. It's that, but it's also how well known are they? Like, what is the greatest football card you could, to me, the greatest ever football rookie card? What would you want?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Bo Jackson.
Brady, Tom Brady.
Yeah, probably Brady. Probably a Brady card, I'll bet you, is more stupid.
Yeah, Ed, a rookie card from any football player of all time. Who would you think is like the number one?
I'm gonna say back in the day. I'm gonna go back.
Who? You mean you're going old school?
Yeah, old school. What do you think, Ed?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at this point it's got to be Brady. I would think, yeah. I'd have to say, because I think it's updated from what has happened in the past, other plays in the past, what they've done. So before I go, I just wanted to show you what I got for opening Buccaneer season in the mail today.
All right, cool.
All right. So send your hate mail to Ed at Tan Talk Radio Network.
I am ready for the first game
of the season.
Very cool.
All right, Ed, that's great.
Who sent you that?
But for those of you who aren't watching,
I'm not giving names.
Go.
It's a Buccaneer T-shirt. It's a
collared shirt.
Oh, this is a nice.
A curse. It's an embroidered curse
with a buck emblem.
Rebub.
Yeah.
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah. I thought about doing the jersey thing, but if I get in the press box again, I don't like wearing jerseys up there.
Yeah, you should. It's not
too much like a Homer, but where this is just whatever.
Well, I gotta say, if we're gonna go old school, for me again, that's a tough one. So when did they start? That's the big question. When did they start? Because I'd go back to Jim Thorpe.
40s, 50s.
Like if there's a Jim Thorpe card out there, I would want that.
Who the hell's Jim Thorpe?
Oh my God. Jim Thorpe was an Olympian and a football player. And he was like one of our greatest Olympians of all time. And he was American Indian. And he was very discriminated against. He's a great story, Jim Thorpe.
Could he beat Caitlin?
Yes.
Ooh.
Some of these prices are just stupid.
He couldn't beat I don't know.
Jared Goff, okay, from 2016. Doesn't mean it's going to sell for it, but Steiner Sports has it for $145,000.
Goff, who's never won. Talk about being a loser at the Super Bowl.
A
That's
Panini,
crazy.
I don't even know who this is. A Panini, let me open it up.
Now, if Jared
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, rookie, $40,000.
Oh my God, is San Diego?
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, you'd be an idiot to buy that. The same thing with Goff. Now, if Goff turns around and he wins the Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions, now you're in a whole nother ball game. But right now, no way.
A Patrick Mahomes Panini National Treasure, $150,000.
Same as of Goff and Hubert.
Unreal.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
They're just hoping people are stupid. That's all that is. Now, Patrick Mahomes, that would be another rookie card. Now, personally, what rookie card would I love to have more than anybody else? Dan Marino.
I'd want a Taylor Swift rookie card.
I bet they are. I bet they're making them now if they didn't before.
Somebody needs to jump on that, for sure. So, but let's go hit this break. When we come back, Ryan Wessner should be on. We can get the information from him on cards and what's new, what's hot. He said the market right now is blowing up ever since Kevin O'Leary went in thirds for that. What was it? 12 point something $1 million piece that he bought. So we're going to talk to Ryan Wessner from Rhino Cards when we return. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by Staff Zone and 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Steve Young. You're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris, straight from Tampa Bay.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever Queen of Violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Faria throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hey, this is NFL Hall of Fame. No. Hey, this is NFL Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. You're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we're back. We're continuing hour number 3. I'm coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC Pinellas location. Matt is in New Hampshire. Leslie is in Las Vegas. And down on 4th Street in St. Pete is Ryan Wessner from Rhino Cards. Ryan, what's up?
Hey, guys. Doing great. Just enjoying my day off here.
Well, we're going to put you to work now. Quite a few things we all want to talk to you about. Let's start with what's the hottest, what's going on in the UFC market. I know a lot of new boxes have come out. What's the hot one? What are we looking for?
Well, this is a kind of a spicy meatball. I don't know if that's coming through for you.
Yep.
That's a beauty, that Sapphire edition. I mean, if you're really into UFC, that's a good one. But if you scoot over here, this is where you can do the Sam Holloway, the buyback program out of there. That's
All right. So
that's
I
the
know,
one that you should have a couple of hanging
right.
around in the shop.
And I meant to bring it. We were going to open it live with you. I got overwhelmed and I forgot it. So, but let's talk about that box. Let's talk about what's in there. What are we searching for? What are the hot items that's in this box?
Well, Holloway being the buyback is the one that everybody's going to be after just naturally. But the beauty of the UFC is it's very individual as far as who likes what fighter. I mean, the guy who's the next guy up, next guy up, next girl up, next girl up, it has a little bit of weight, but people buy their guy or their girl. And then it's just now starting to click that you want to have their rookies, because a lot of that market was a new space for UFC fans, not necessarily conventional sports fans that don't really have a card collecting background, so who have filled in the blanks.
You say, who you're covering, who you're a fan of, but unfortunately, all fans, not just UFC fans, fans in general, people in general, the Dricus du Plessis cards were going through the roof until a couple of weeks ago, and then he loses, and then you can pick these out of garbage cans.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when you could go and find a Patty Pimblett in the dollar box any way you wanted it. Not
yeah,
anymore.
and now that's not the case. So
yeah, there's a lot of fluctuation in that way. But me being a little bit of an older school UFC guy, like the guys that I like and collect are not really fluctuating.
Very true. Explain, you mentioned the Holloway, and I know we did some stuff with you with the WWE cards, and it was Uso. What is buyback? What does that mean? How do you go about it, and who's buying it and who's selling it?
It's good for store credit. Those Max Holloway cards will be good for store credit. If you've got the super fancy stuff, if you start getting refractors, it'll say so on the back. There's numbered versions. There's things that if it looks goofy and it has his name on it, it's worth checking out. And you'll get 20, 40, 100, 200, depending on which cards you've pulled of his. And you can trade that for store credit, same as cash.
I don't expect you to necessarily know the answer, but you might be in the ballpark possibly. We were talking about it before. What is the most expensive UFC card? I would assume it's coming from Topps, but maybe not. It could have been during the couple Panini years. What would be that one?
It's kind of, there's some celebrity that's mixed into it with some of those McGregor cards kind of taking over for those early Gracie things and the real super OG stuff. But Joe Rogan has now fought his way to the very upper echelon of UFC cards.
Really?
Well, you know what you got. We've got some nice ones hanging around in the shop, but he's taken on a whole new level of fame outside of the UFC that cards of his are going bananas. I mean, this Ghostwrite UFC is probably the coolest of all the Ghostwrites that I've seen.
And explain that. I know you've talked to me a little bit about it. I still don't understand. I don't understand what it is or what they do.
They just make an extremely limited number of brand-related ghosts like this, and representative of whatever happens to be the theme of the day. And if you're into it, you get it, and if you don't, you pass. It's not really a science project. It's just if you like it. But they have inserts. They have the exact print runs of 100 or maybe 150 or 25. The print runs are extremely low.
Before I don't know if Matt or Leslie, if you have a question, but let me throw this at you before they jump in. You mentioned the Joe Rogan. What makes him the most popular or as popular? Is it a lot of mainstream coming into the UFC now that remembers Joe Rogan from Fear Factor and The Man Show and all that other stuff that he did? Or is it just he's blowing up because of who he is and the podcast? And
Well, all of this comes down to how many different large markets can you be relevant within? And it just gives him that whole extra vertical in that regard that the other guys don't have necessarily.
Interesting.
And the collectability, the people that actually want to have his stuff, whether it represents any kind of political thing or they just like him as an entertainer. There's just a lot of extra involved. These are the ghost rights. This is the big fella there, the Shohei. These are the little miniature ghost rights. There's the Skeens. It's coming right into the living room.
Okay. What do they sell for?
Those base ones sell for anywhere between 80, 60, something like that. Some of them are like 30. But other ones are in the thousands, like in 4,000, 2,000, 1,300 for the limited run ones.
Crazy. Matt, you got anything?
Yeah, so Ryan, could I get a value on my DJ Griffin number 23 first home run ball over the fence, Lynx versus Prospects 2/19 of 2012?
Ah, boy. That's in the eye of the beholder, my friend. You might have a real gem. You never know.
I mean, it's one of a kind. The ball was actually replaced by Kevin Kiermaier's number 39. But what do you think? Can I bring it in the shop? We put it we put a display
there's
case
a market
around
for
it.
everything. But all the soup on that memorabilia scam. The guy is no longer with us. He scammed a bunch of memorabilia and fake sports stuff over a decade or more. And it's just such a big scandal right now. You can't move memorabilia even at like super reduced prices. Nobody's touching it because the authenticity is just. Think back to the 90s when they needed to start doing graded versions of cards to guarantee authenticity.
Right.
It's like that for all memorabilia now.
But I do have a real question though. Does it have to be cards? Like this here, this is a keychain that I got from Anthony Orozco from Orozco Elite. His fighter was a former world champion, BKFC heavyweight, fighting again this September in 9 days. But this is a keychain. Does something like this hold value, especially since it's a world champion? Will BKFC ever be as popular as UFC or other fight memorabilia?
Well, what you got going for you is rarity, and that's always a nice step. So when you have something that is not in mass production, it does have a chance for long-term relevance. Just it depends on the trajectory. I mean, it'll go as far as the league goes. But anything that's early edition and limited from any IP, look back at Coca-Cola products. If you have early IP marketing for Coca-Cola that used to be just thrown away in the garbage, but you have it, it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, it goes as far as the IP will take it.
We were talking about this earlier, Ryan. What is the most valuable card? Not UFC, just
that
most
Jordan Kobe dual patch auto that just sold for $12.9 million just knocked Mickey Mantle off the pedestal.
Wow, Mickey Mantle was prior to that. It was Mickey Mantle, not Tom Brady, like a rookie card from Brady.
Tom Brady rookie cards don't even sniff these numbers. This is high altitude stuff with Mickey Mantle and Jordan and Kobe auto together. I mean, it's a crazy card.
Well, I get that.
$12.9 million.
That's insane. But wasn't the Horace Wagner the number one for a long time?
It was. Ty Cobb jumped in there, and then there was a Mike Trout that was flirting with a high number, but then the $12.6 million Mantle dropped at 9.5.
Mike Trout, was it? Wow.
There's a gold, because Mike Trout's only in update, and it was like the number one of 50 or some gold Mike Trout 10. It was a pretty stinky card, but it didn't stand a chance against Mantle, 52 tops.
Before I forget, and I'm not sure if they have other questions. Are you running a special on those top T-shirts yet?
Yeah. I mean, I sold 3 T-shirts last week.
I didn't know if you want to plug your T-shirts. I'm trying to help you.
It's raining T-shirts in here.
It's raining T-shirts.
And for those of you listening,
25% off, Randy. What do you say to that?
Right,
for Randy Harris listeners only on all platforms.
Rhino Cards, located on 11th Avenue and 4th Street in St. Pete. Go ahead, Leslie.
I was just saying, for those listening on the radio at home, you can always log on to our YouTube page and watch, and you can see what's going on here in his store. I was curious, who would you say, who are the big soccer? I would love to know what the top cards, a couple top cards in soccer.
Well, Messi still rules the day.
Who?
But Haaland is a big money getter. Yamal probably right now is the hottest. Yamal. And then, of course, you still got Ronaldo kicking around in there, and some other guys. Pulisic for the domestic crowd.
Really? An American?
Just for the domestic crowd.
Okay.
But online for Mbappe, Haaland, Messi, but Yamal is the hot item.
What about for females? Are there any like that? Like,
well, the card market doesn't really translate to females unless you're talking about Caitlin Clark or the occasional wrestler or fighter like that, maybe. But generally speaking, the people who collect the cards, like, there's just not a whole lot of girls collecting, like, for example, the new women's soccer league or something like that. There's cards for it.
I just wondered if, like, your Mia Hamm's or your Abby Wambach, some of those, or Rapinoe.
No, because that era is there were a lot of those printed with no variants. So you can go out and find one of those for $1. They're everywhere.
Okay.
That era is just mass printed. Everything got mass printed with no variants.
Interesting.
So Ryan, are cards like the mint and the treasury, like, if there's mistakes or there's like flaws or errors, are there cards that are the more valuable because of those mistakes?
Rarity that truly exists in error cards, like no copyright or the Marlboro cigarette ad on the Randy Johnson, that is real value. It's worthless without it, and $350 with it.
The Billy Ripken. Let's be honest. The Billy Ripken is a 20-cent card. It's a 10-cent card back in the day.
It's a 0-cent card without the profanity.
Okay, I was being nice. I was giving him a dime. And for those of you that don't know, and this is my opinion because I don't want to get sued, a lot of people were in on this. It wasn't a mistake. It had to have been planted. Where
the error is them not catching it.
Allegedly. So on Billy Ripken's bat handle, he writes a 4-letter word that starts with F and then puts face. So it's on the handle. It says blank face. So that card.
They remade it last year in the 24 set as a homage and had one of the new Cardinal kids or one of the new Orioles, Holiday or Gunner, one or the other, recreate it.
Really? All right. But back in the Billy Ripken day, Matt, so first it came out blank face. Then they came and they blacked it all out as an error card. Then they went and like sprayed it in a different color. So there's like 4, 5, 6 different variations of this one card. What is the most valuable of those Billy Ripkins? And if it is the F face, what is that going for?
No, the whiteout correction is the most valuable because it's a terrible correction. And then the one that's where it's blurred out, but you can still clearly read it, terrible correction. Those are both worth more than the actual profanity one.
So Ryan, so you mentioned Caitlin Clark, the most famous Caitlin of all time. Caitlyn
I was
Jenner.
scared. I was scared. I'm going to let you finish, Matt. But as soon as he said Caitlin, I'm like, where's he going?
So Caitlyn Jenner, the greatest man of all time, decathlon. What do those cards go for?
I've
Bruce
actually
Jenner.
got those Olympic cards with him as a decathlete. And then, you can just do your before and after and shoot it to her as whatever we're doing.
I wonder if he signed one as Caitlin, what it would be worth. Like if you gave him a Bruce Jenner card, and then he signed it.
I don't think he would sign that, but why not? So apparently, he's got a pretty firm view on it and says that men shouldn't be competing in girls' sports anyway, even though he's on that side of the fence. So I'd take his word for it. He probably knows better than everybody that thinks they do.
So you think that he would sign it? Because I have a photo signed by Bruce Jenner holding my son. And I've always said that I want to get it signed now by Caitlyn Jenner to go up next to the Bruce Jenner of the same, of the picture. You think that?
I mean, he might be down with that. I don't think he's shy, or she. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah, no, not at all. And to be honest, I don't think she should be. I mean, she was Bruce Jenner, and now she's not.
I bet he'd sign. Who knows though? Who knows? I bet he'd sign a car. I wonder if I doubt he wouldn't sign it as Bruce, but maybe he'd sign it as.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Because he's not Bruce. It's already been signed by Bruce.
I would think it'd be worth more signed as Caitlyn.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Well, that's not true. They're not making any more Bruce autos.
Right.
Right. That's how that thing is determined. That's why when people die, their auto goes up.
Right.
Oh,
the Bruce
okay.
is definitely going to be better. But having the Jenner card signed by I mean, he doesn't have a huge following for that. It wouldn't be worth a lot.
That's
hey, I wanted to. I was talking about Jim Thorpe earlier. Is there a Jim Thorpe card out there?
Yes, his memorabilia is actually controlled by like one entity, like the lion's share of his stuff going back into college, and a lot of it is museum stuff, and there's not a whole lot of it on the market, so his stuff is actually worth a lot.
I figured we got to educate Matt on Jim Thorpe. He didn't know who he was.
Before we let you go, let's bring it back combat wise. Are there other organizations, whether it's the PFL, whether it's BKFC, any of those other combat sports, do they have any market in the MMA, or I mean in the collectible market?
Maybe he didn't, Randy. Maybe he didn't hear you.
Ryan, are you there?
I thought we were talking. Are we waiting for somebody else to chime in on that, or
No. I'm asking you. I'm saying that the UFC has, the tops. They went to Panini. They're back with tops. I'm curious. Is the PFL, is BKFC? Is there any other combat organization that has any piece of the collectible card?
No, I mean, it's frankly hard enough just with trying to get the UFC and the big brands over. The crossover is not as like more people are into UFC than are into cards. It's a much smaller piece of the Venn diagram. So once that kicks off, then I can see other type of cards getting their time in the sun on that.
So what's the drawback? If people believe, and Dana said back in the day that the UFC would be bigger than the NFL, I still disagree with that, but I do believe the UFC, if it's not already, will be bigger globally, than the NFL. I can buy into that. Why has it been so difficult for UFC fans to get into the collectible market when, they're all over the place trying to get autographs and photos and whatever at events?
Yeah, it's just I like when I said it earlier about not all of the UFC crowd is into team sports. And team sports are where you generally see a lot of the collector base buying cards. So it's a different mentality. It's a different kind of dude and lady. It's a different kind of situation that just didn't necessarily come up in that lens where that was something that was done for fun. You mean you just sat around and messed around with your cards? Yeah. Idiot. What are you doing? Like like go out and punch somebody in the face or something. No, like people dealt with their boredom in different ways, right?
Right. Interesting.
But it's just the people who collected baseball cards primarily have the biggest crossover, and then it kind of wanes from there. But they're getting the UFC market is new, the wrestling market is new, like even the Star Wars market is new, trying to get the cards back in the mainstream of things. So it all happens slowly. New combat sports league is going to be a lot to bite off. Even because they have the buyback program for WWE and UFC, and people still don't even know about it.
Right.
And it's been going on for a while. So it's just, eventually they will.
What about WNBA with Caitlyn? I just was curious if the WNBA has any decent cards, or is that still kind of looped in with some of the other women's sports or tennis? Like, are there any female athlete cards that are worth a lot?
Caitlyn right now, yes, but otherwise, frankly, not so much. I mean, tennis cards aren't that big of a deal, so it wouldn't be. Golf cards aren't really, and women's team sports haven't really been that popular. You know what I mean? It's just not something. It's not a celebration of that. But
before we let Ryan go, because the phone's ringing, Matt, anything final?
No, I was just wondering, garbage pail kids still a big deal?
We've got some garbage pail kids.
All
I'm
right,
gonna come by and see you.
Ryan, go answer your phone. Go answer
All
your
right, buddy.
phone,
We'll
Ryan.
see you.
Thanks, buddy. That is Ryan Westner from Rhino Cards, located just off of 4th Street and 11th Avenue in St. Pete. A really sweet shop. It's almost like a flea market in there. He's got his main area. There's a couple other vendors in some of the other rooms and such. So go ahead.
We should have a Randy Harris garbage pail stress test card. You go in, you just
John Travolta to sign my Grease card. But I can hang out at the Scientology building and catch him one day.
you're not allowed to say Scientology on this network.
Oh, my bad.
Don't you know the rules, Leslie?
I don't know. All I know is DJ Kitty sometimes goes into a little seizure, and he's having one right now.
All right, have a seizure. I'm going to take some deep breaths as I get ready for my stress test next week. We're going to go hit our final break of the afternoon, or what I think will be our final break of the afternoon, and then we'll close this train wreck down when we return. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by Staff Zone and 8 Man Strong. We'll be right back.
This is Rick Nash from the Columbus Blue Jackets, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
This is Randy Harris from Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park. Our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women,
making a lot of
kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Todd Washington, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back. Final segment here, coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility located in Pinellas County. Leslie has moved over to Los Angeles. She's back out at that house she stayed at a couple of years ago when we covered the Super Bowl. Matt is in Montreal today getting a smoked meat sandwich at one of the greatest delis I've ever been to, and that's Schwartz. What's up, fellas, guys, women, everybody else?
I'm just glad Matt's here to close out the show with us. Usually he's like, had to take off. It's a nice thing about doing this remotely.
Yeah, I don't have to spend the next couple hours in traffic, So
yeah, it's nice.
Great.
Nice.
There's nothing wrong with traffic. The traffic, if you can control your stress, it's a great stress relief. You just sit there and you just take your time.
Well, it's only going to get worse. I heard today on the news that some of the blue states are going to have their own recourse for vaccine protocols and schedules to go against RFK Jr.'s recommendations of taking away the COVID vaccines.
We're talking about traffic. How do you go to vaccines?
Because now more people are going to move to red states because they want to get away from those crazy blue states.
Whatever.
That's why Florida's so busy.
Science
New
is
York,
science. Science
New
is
York,
science.
Colorado, California, everybody got the hell out of there. They're like, we can't live here anymore. They all came to Texas and Florida.
But then wouldn't the people that agree with that, wouldn't they move out of the great state of Florida and then move to California and
exactly
New York?
Randy, nobody ever moves north. Nobody retires and moves north.
It's balderdash.
They all end up in Florida eventually. South America is where it's at. This is the greatest state and country on the planet.
Okay. All right. So
any UFC predictions, any NFL predictions, anything either one of you want to throw out?
I guess we should talk about the UFC card.
The Bucks, do we think they're going to beat the Atlanta Falcons? What do we think the opening game's going to be? How do we? I say Tampa Bay because I just don't. No, I don't necessarily think that. Atlanta beat them twice last year. It's always a tough division rival, but I think we're going to be hungry. I think Baker, hopefully, the way he's been talking. Have you heard his latest quotes? He's like, "We're going to the Super Bowl." I mean, he's being.
That's
bold.
not his late. That's not his latest.
Have you heard his latest?
Have you heard his latest? His latest is, "Love that thing called Popeyes." You haven't seen it. You haven't seen the TV commercial?
No.
He's back into the national scene. If you remember, he used to do I think it was an insurance commercial when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So now he's doing a Popeyes commercial here.
You know what? They really missed the boat with Baker Mayfield because he should be doing a Baker commercial with a big chef's hat. Like Dunkin' Donuts should grab Baker Mayfield and being like, time to visit the baker, and he's going in there and
but that's dangerous. That's Leslie. That's so dangerous. With a guy like Ed around, if you got him like covered in frosting and cream, like might eat the franchise quarterback.
Shut up.
You heard about Ed and his donut addiction.
Are you going to read the UFC card so we can do some predictions?
I really don't. You know what? If you're a fan of the UFC, you will not want to watch this fight card.
Why? That's not true. Just because you can't pronounce. Hold on. Just because you can't pronounce the names, and we don't know who some of the fighters are.
Or any of them.
If you're Brad Tavares is fighting, so I want to see him.
You know Brad Tavares because he's your friend, but the common household average person, you don't even know anyone on the main card. The main card.
We're not talking the main card. Are you trying to tell me that UFC fans, young UFC fans, don't know who Brad Tavares is? Of course they do.
Name. Not a household name. No way. No way.
Sure.
I mean, look, he's a great guy, but nobody knows Brad Tavares. Like
UFC fans. If you're a casual, if you're tuning in because John Jones is fighting or Alex is fighting or Connor, maybe not. But if you're a UFC MMA fan, you know who Brad Tavares is. I give you that nobody's going to know some of these other fighters.
Any of them.
I do believe that big MMA UFC fans are going to tune in because just because you don't know their name, there's going to be some great fights. It's like getting there early. There's going to be some great fights.
Well, let's just go down the list.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Read the list.
I'll show it. So there's your list.
All right, let's read it because people are listening to us too, guys, not just
so
on YouTube.
Imavov versus Moralo is your main event. You got Benoit Saint Denis versus Rufi. You got Bukakis versus Craig. You got Oki versus Jones. You got Sola versus McKee. You got Pitbull versus Kita. You got Hardwick versus Fernandez. Gomez versus Rukshala. Sai versus Ribeiro. Tybura versus Delija. Patterson versus Waters. Tavares versus Breitzik. Gustafson versus
Hey, watch it.
Bannon versus Hughes. Like, what of those household names do you know other than Tavares? Other than Tavares, name one other fighter on that list.
I can't even pronounce the list.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Point there.
But again, that doesn't mean that they're not.
But are you
good
spending
fighters.
pay-per-view money to watch that fight card? Like
It's not a pay-per-view. It's not a pay-per-view.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, it's
All
not.
right, well,
Pay-per-view is next week. Next week is the Noche event in San Antonio.
Okay.
Look, I'm interested in Jessica's fight. I'm interested in the Black Widow's fight.
Wrong sport. Listen, but like, so because in Paris, is it going to be an afternoon event? Is it going to start in the afternoon? Is it a daytime thing?
I can find out by the time you're done talking. All you got
Are
to
they
do
gonna
is
tape
they got
delay
this.
it?
No, it won't be tape delayed.
I'm just saying I'd rather watch her fight over those fights. I know it's bare knuckle versus what we're talking about, but I'm just saying.
Is it because she's a female fighter, or is it because she's a friend of the show now?
No, it's because honestly, you know what it is?
No, lie to us.
It's because I can see her anger with this opponent. I can see her anger in it, and I think it's going to be a good fight. I think when she says, I'm not faking it, I think there's some real stuff. I can see real emotion coming through, and I think it's going to be a good, rough, nasty fight, and I want to watch it.
Now, I have a question, Leslie. Do you watch sporting events based on like attraction to like, the athletes? Like Tom Brady or like Mackenzie Dern?
There's different reasons I watch. I grew up as a little girl as a Dolphin fan because we didn't have the Bucks yet. So I've always been also a Dolphin. But then when we got the Bucks, my mother actually was the home economist who wallpapered the entire original One Buck place. So I used to sit there in the stands at 6 and 7 years old, and I have Leroy Selman's old autograph, Doug Williams, Ricky Bell. When I was 7, 8 years old, I would sit out there when she was doing the wallpaper. And so there's a long history, like with me and the Bucks and just our family. So I'll always be a Buck fan. I was born in Tampa. Same thing with the Rowdies. They were our first team. There's certain groups like that. However, with that being said, like Dan Marino, also because he was a Dolphin. I mean, if he would have went to another team, I would have followed that team too, because I love Dan Marino. And that's what Brady just happened to come here. I've liked Brady since 2001. I've been saying he was the most underappreciated quarterback for decades until he started dating Giselle. He wasn't getting the national exposure that he should have been getting. So I followed him simply because it was the Brady Belichick thing. And when he came here, I didn't follow the Pats anymore. So I do get behind a particular person. And if I'm into that person, it's great because, you root for them. I love that. I love, and I'm Baker too. I was watching the Browns, not just because Charlie, but I really liked Baker Mayfield. And fortunately we got him too. So it's a mixture, but I just won't be like physically attracted to somebody and want to watch them. Of course, I mean, eventually Tom Brady, everything goes hand in hand with that guy. But I get behind a player or I get behind a team for whatever reason and I stick with them.
Is Dan Marino the greatest silver medalist of all time?
He's not even a silver medalist.
Shadow of a doubt.
Oh, he just never won anything. He never won anything?
How can you call him a silver medalist?
Because he came in second in the NFL. He lost the Super Bowl, so he's a silver. He was the youngest guy to ever take anybody to the Super Bowl.
Saturday's event is a 3 p.m. Eastern start time. So this Saturday at 3 o'clock.
ESPN Plus?
At best.
Can we get predictions? You guys kind of just mowed over that with
sure. Kansas City versus you pick them.
The Bucks versus Atlanta.
Oh. Matt?
I think that quarterback
is good.
I'm gonna say with no Shiloh Sanders, I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers winning by 6.
I so badly want to pick Atlanta.
I know, right?
I truly do, but Tampa should have beat them at the away game last year. I was there. They lost it at the end. I'm really concerned about a few things. I'm still concerned about the DBs of the Bucks. I don't know anything. See, the problem is we don't know anything about the opponent. At least me personally, I cover the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have no clue what's going on with the Atlanta team.
Well, Atlanta, here it is.
Leslie's an Atlanta expert.
Well, no, but their quarterback's unproven. Like you know what I mean? He got selected starts. He's unproven.
Sure.
So there's a couple things going on for that. One, he's not because he didn't play his whole rookie year. Usually you can do fantastic if you're pretty good your rookie year because no one's used to your play.
Right. Nobody knows
They
you.
don't know. But we got a little bit of it. Okay. So we were able to see some of it. So I think that kind of helps out. I'm going 21, 17 Tampa.
Matt?
I'll go 21-17 Atlanta.
Matt, you're just a copycat contrarian.
What are you talking
the most
about?
pathetic thing ever.
I'll go 24-13 Atlanta.
24-13
Yeah.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Because honestly, that way I win either way.
Haha.
Right? I want Tampa to win.
No, because Matt went for ATL.
Well,
I'm the only one who
I
went for the
understand that.
Bucks.
I'm saying I can win either way because I'm either going to win because I picked Atlanta, or I'm going to win because then Tampa wins, which is what I want.
Oh,
I just don't know much about Atlanta, and I know that they beat them both times last year. I know this is a huge game. I'm a little concerned still, with the offensive line with Wirfs going down. The D line's going to be unstoppable of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Here's what worries me, and I hate to say this, but this kind of worries me. I hope that I'm wrong about this, but there is a tendency that you will see, especially if you've got 3 great years in a row, sometimes with like a backtrack with quarterbacks, like going back to the average and not outstanding. And Baker has proven himself and had something to prove. I just hope that he can.
Not with Baker.
That's
not going to happen with Baker.
I hope not.
I don't think so. I think, with Wirfs being gone, obviously no matter who you bring in is not going to be equal to Wirfs. I understand that. If that position can hold still until he comes back, that's my big concern. The DBs are still my concern of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But if you're saying it's all coming down to Baker, then I would take Atlanta. I mean, I would take Tampa because Baker is going to do well.
Yeah.
The rookie receiver is unbelievable. And that's without, the receiver went down. You're not getting Godwin back again for another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But just to make it interesting, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'll go with
rookie
Atlanta.
Receiver. The only thing is, though, it's different when you're in practice and then you step out on the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What he's done, though, in the preseason.
Practice. Yeah.
But Matt, you're sticking with Atlanta?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, most of Atlanta's, team probably got picked up by ICE. Like the owner. Well, Arthur Blank owns Home Depot, and so who knows what's going on up there in Atlanta? Who knows if they even have enough? They might not even have enough left to put all 11 men on the field.
They're now putting. I'm just going to throw this out there. My niece is National Guard, and they're putting her into ICE. Like she's Guard, but they've given her an ICE ID. It's so
she
weird.
didn't do military either.
They act. Shut up.
Look, the only thing that they got going for them up there in Atlanta is because Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. If they need extra football players, they could have the staff of Chick-fil-A step in because they're off on Sundays.
Thank God this is almost over. I've had enough.
But I'm still gonna go Atlanta 21-17.
Well, what do you? How do you fare? What about Carolina? I mean, they're scrappy, but
they don't fit in.
They're still going to be at the bottom of the bucket, huh?
Yeah, they definitely are.
Here's the thing, though. In any given Sunday, I mean, Carolina can still.
That's not true. That's
not
true.
That's true. They made a movie with that title.
Any given Sunday, you don't agree with that.
I do not agree with that. And there was a great brawl in the filming of that movie, but that's another story. Correct. On any given Sunday, that is not true. The Jacksonville
one team can beat another team.
Who's the worst team in the NFL right now?
The
Jets. The
Probably
Jets.
The Jets. I haven't looked at this.
Okay. If the Jets are the worst team in the NFL, 9 out of 9 times, 44 out of 44 times, the Jets lose to the Philadelphia Eagles.
But you're saying there's a chance.
No, I'm saying 44 times.
Yeah, but those are okay, sure, but that's not interdivision. Okay.
No, you just said on any given Sunday.
It
That's
is.
not true.
Any given Sunday, the Carolina Panthers could beat the Buccaneers. That's what I was
True.
specifically referring to.
That's why they play the games. Right?
But the Carolina Panthers,
Just like the Jets could beat the Dolphins or the Pats on any given Sunday, although they suck, and they have done it.
How about the Green Bay
Jets.
Packers? Are the Green Bay Packers going to the Super Bowl now with Micah there?
Hell no.
I don't know.
Hell no.
I don't know. That's your dark horse.
I like the Pack, but I don't see that happening. What I would like to see happen, but I fear it's over.
The show to end.
Is the Lions. I feel like they missed their opportunity 2 years ago. It's done. Or was it last year? I can't remember.
The prediction in Vegas, I believe, is Kansas City, Detroit. I think.
Yeah, that's the logic.
Some people are saying Buffalo.
Detroit? For really?
Yeah.
And who winning? Kansas City.
Well, now that Tay-Tay's busy and tight end is retiring or not thinking about football, hey,
You can't tell me he is. Here's my prediction of Travis Kelce. He is not going to do that. Although he looks really good, guys. He looks really good. He's dropped a lot of weight.
You know what looks even better? Look at the clock. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a great 3 hours. It was a lot of fun. Next week, the UFC returns back to the States. They'll be in San Antonio. That means UFC fighters next week. We're going to reach out for another main card eventer from the upcoming BKFC October 4th. Until next week, have a good one.